We're counting down the top 5 most valuable and rare UK Elizabeth 2p coins ever discovered. Imagine finding a simple 2p coin in your change jar, could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of pounds, yes, hidden among ordinary copper coins that can completely shock collectors. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious and valuable coins ever struck in Britain, the 1971-era UK Elizabeth II new pence coin. Some of these tiny copper treasures hold secrets so rare that collectors would pay a fortune just to own one. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot one of the rarest coins in British history, and who knows, you might already have one hiding in your collection. Imagine this: you're digging through an old jar of change, coins that have been sitting there for decades. Your fingers brush past a dull copper coin, and suddenly you freeze. The background. To understand why the 1971 Elizabeth II new pence coin is so important, we need to step back into history. On February 15, 1971, Britain entered a new monetary age. The old system of pounds, shillings, and pence used for centuries was finally replaced by a decimal system. This was one of the biggest changes in British coinage ever, and it required the Royal Mint to strike billions of new coins for circulation. Among them was the new pence coin. Introduced in denominations, the 2 new pence coin was particularly iconic, featuring the Tudor portcullis with chains on the reverse. The most rare errors and valuable. Off-metal strikes. £10,000 to £20,000. Double strikes and misstrikes. £5,000 to £50,000. Proofs in circulation. £30,000 to £45,000. Die cuts errors. £3,000 to £5,000. Why the 1971 new pence coin is so special. Unlike later years, 1971 marks the beginning of decimal coinage. That alone makes any error from this year historically significant. Collectors crave firsts, and this is literally the first modern British 2p coin. Combine that with rare minting mistakes, and you have a recipe for astronomical values. Think about it: an ordinary 2p coin is worth 2 pence. But an error coin from 1971 could be worth more than an entire house in London. That's the kind of story that makes headlines, and the kind of coin that keeps collectors up at night. Auction records and shocking sales. While most 1971 2 new pence coins sell for face value, rare varieties have appeared in auctions and private sales. Some examples. A 1971 off-metal strike fetched over £10,000 at a London auction. A proof-quality 2p from 1971, accidentally released into circulation, was privately valued at £15,000. Experts believe that if a transitional error or unique die variety surfaced, it could command £25,000 to £10,000, especially in today's booming coin market. How to identify a rare 1971 era new pence coin. If you're sitting at home wondering, do I have one? Here's what to check. Metal color and weight. Compare your coin to a normal 2p. If it looks lighter, darker, or unusual, it might be off metal. Lettering. Look closely at the new pence wording. Any doubling, misalignment, or unusual spacing could signal an error. Finish. If your coin looks unusually shiny, with sharp proof-like details, it might be a proof coin. Today, we're diving deep into the mystery, history, and shocking values of the 1979-era UK Elizabeth II new pence coin. Trust me, you'll want to watch until the end, because by the time we're done, you'll know exactly what to look for, and you just might realize you're sitting on a fortune. Picture this: you're sifting through a handful of old change, maybe coins that have been sitting in a jar since the late 70s. At first, nothing looks unusual until your eyes land on a 1979 2 pence coin. Now, you're probably thinking it's only worth 2p, right? Wrong. Because some 1979 new pence coins hold secrets so rare, so extraordinary. The background. To understand the 1979 UK Elizabeth II new pence coin, we first need to step back into the late 1970s. Britain had been living with the decimal currency system for just under a decade. The big shift happened in 1971, when the old pounds, shillings, and pence were replaced by a much simpler decimal system. Coins like the 2 new pence became everyday pocket change, instantly recognizable by their bronze shine and the iconic Tudor portcullis with chains, designed by Christopher Ironside. On the obverse sat the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Machin. But here's where things get interesting. The rare errors and most valuable. Off-metal strikes. £10,000 to £20,000. Double strikes and misstrikes. £5,000 to £50,000. Clipped planchets. £1,000 to £5,000. Auction records and famous finds. So what do the numbers look like? Let's explore a few shocking sales. In the late 2000s, a 1979 off-metal 2p strike was privately valued at nearly £30,000. A proof-quality 1979 new pence found in circulation was estimated at £34,000. And while no confirmed transitional error has surfaced publicly, experts predict that if one ever does, it could break records at over £38,000. These aren't just coins, they're jackpots hiding in plain sight. How to identify a rare 1979 error coin. If you've got a 1979 new pence lying around, here's what to check. Weight and size. Use a scale. A normal 2p weighs 7.12 g. Anything significantly off could be an error. Metal color. Bronze should look reddish-brown. If your coin is silver-colored, golden, or unusual, it may be off-metal. Lettering. Check new pence closely. Look for doubling, misalignment, or weak strikes. Finish. A shiny, mirror-like finish with sharp details could mean a proof strike. Shape. Look for clipped edges, off-center designs, or rotation when you flip it. A magnifying glass, good lighting, and patience can turn you into a coin detective. Why collectors pay so much? You might wonder, why would anyone spend hundreds of thousands, or even millions, on a tiny coin? It comes down to 3 things. History. 1979 coins mark a critical transition before the change to 2 pence. Scarcity. Some errors exist in quantities of just 1 or 2 known pieces. Prestige. Owning a unique coin means owning something no one else in the world. Yes, you heard me right. Today, we're unlocking the secrets of one of the most mysterious and potentially valuable coins in modern British history, the 1998 era UK Elizabeth II new pence coin. By the end of this video, you'll know the history, the key errors, and how to spot one of these ultra-rare treasures. So don't blink, you might be holding on to a life-changing. Imagine this for a moment: you're emptying out a dusty old jar of coins. Most of them look ordinary, just a bunch of coppers and silvers. But then your hand stops. You see a 1998 Elizabeth II coin that looks slightly different. Could this tiny mistake, struck at the Royal Mint over 25 years ago, actually be worth not pennies, but thousands or even millions of pounds? The background. To understand why 1998 is so important, we need to rewind a little. The phrase new pence was first introduced in 1971, at the dawn of decimalization. For the next decade, all 2p coins carried this inscription. But by 1982, Britain had fully adjusted, and the wording was changed to 2 pence. That should have been the end of the new pence era, but here's the catch: in some rare cases, mistakes happened. Coins struck with old dies or experimental blanks slipped into circulation. The rare errors and most valuable. Off-metal strikes. £14,000 to £20,000. Proof strikes in circulation. £5,000 to £50,000. Double strikes and misstrikes. £2,000 to £25,000. Clipped planchets. £5,000 to £7,000. Auction records and shocking values. Let's talk numbers. In the late 2000s, a 1998 off-metal strike sold for nearly £20,000. A proof-quality 1998 2p found in circulation fetched £12,000. Experts suggest that a confirmed 1998 new pence reverse coin could smash records and reach 7 figures. That would place it among the most valuable modern British coins ever sold. How to identify a rare 1998 era coin. If you've got a 1998 2p, here's what to check. Obverse portrait. Look for the Ian Rank Broadley bust. If your coin looks unusual, check carefully. Reverse inscription. If it says new pence instead of 2 pence, you've struck gold. Metal color and weight. Off-metal strikes will feel lighter or heavier. Finish. A proof coin will look mirror-like and far shinier than normal. Striking errors. Double images, misaligned designs, or missing sections are all signs of a rare coin. Always use a magnifying glass and good lighting. You never know what you'll find. Conclusion. So the next time you spot a 1998 Elizabeth 2p, don't shrug it off as just small change. Because while most are worth exactly 2 pence, a rare error could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of pounds. A tiny mistake at the Royal Mint could turn your pocket change into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. That's why collectors worldwide are hunting for the elusive 1998 era UK Elizabeth II new pence coin. The only question left is this: could you be the lucky one to find it? Today, we uncover the mystery of the 1999 era UK Elizabeth II new pence coin, one of the rarest and most valuable modern British coins ever struck. Stay with me until the very end, because you'll want to know how to spot one of these life-changing rarities, and who knows, you might already have one hiding at home. Imagine this: you're rummaging through an old coin jar, maybe one that's been sitting untouched for decades. Most of the coins are ordinary, but suddenly something catches your eye. A 1999 2-pence coin. At first, you think nothing of it. But what if I told you that one small error on that coin could turn it from worthless change into a treasure worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of pounds? Yes, you heard that right. The background. To understand why the 1999 new pence error is so fascinating, let's step back into history. Decimalization began in 1971, when Britain replaced the old pounds, shillings, and pence with a modern decimal currency. For the first decade, the 2-pence coin carried the inscription new pence, but in 1982, the word was changed to 2 pence since the coins were no longer new. By 1999, all circulating 2p coins should have read 2 pence, but here's where it gets interesting. In very rare cases, old dies were mistakenly used, or transitional errors occurred. The rare errors and most valuable. Off-metal strikes. £20,000 to £25,000. Proof coins in circulation. £16,000 to £40,000. Double strikes and misstrikes. £2,000 to £25,000. Clipped planchets. £4,000 to £7,000. Auction records and most valuable. While examples are scarce, here's what experts and auction houses suggest. A 1999 new pence mule error could easily break records, potentially selling for £40,000 to £1 million. Off-metal 1999 strikes have been privately valued at £55,000. Proofs and misstrikes from this year fetch tens of thousands when authenticated. Collectors know that if one of these coins appears at a major auction, bidding wars would erupt worldwide. How to identify a rare 1999 error. If you've got a 1999 2p coin, here's what to check. Obverse portrait. Confirm it's the Rank Broadley portrait. Large realistic features. Reverse inscription. If it says new pence instead of 2 pence, you've hit the jackpot. Weight and metal. A normal 2p weighs 7.12 grams. If it's significantly off, it may be an off-metal strike. Finish. Look for proof like shine and frosted detail. Alignment. Flip the coin. If the obverse and reverse don't line up, it could be a striking error. A magnifying glass, digital scale, and patience are your best tools. Why collectors pay so millions? You might ask, why would anyone spend millions on a 2p coin? The answer is simple: history, rarity, and prestige. History. 1999 represents a bridge between coinage eras. Rarity. The new pence era shouldn't exist. It's a freak accident. Prestige. Owning a one-of-a-kind coin gives collectors bragging rights that money alone can't buy. What if I told you that a single 2000 UK Elizabeth II new pence era coin could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of pounds? Today, we're diving into the full story of this mysterious coin, how it happened, what makes it so rare, and how you might spot one hiding in plain sight. Stay tuned, because this could be the discovery that changes your life. Picture this. You're going through a handful of old coins, maybe from a change jar or a dusty tin that's been in the family for decades. At first glance, it's nothing special, just some copper coins. But then you notice the date, 2000. And something about this 2p coin feels different. The lettering doesn't look right, the shine is unusual, and suddenly it hits you. Could this be one of the rarest era coins in modern British history? The background. The year 2000 was historic in many ways. It marked not just the dawn of a new century, but also the beginning of a new millennium. People across Britain were preparing for Y2K, the so-called millennium bug, while the Royal Mint was busy striking coins to commemorate this once-in-a-lifetime milestone. By then, the 2p coin had already been a part of Britain's decimal coinage for nearly 3 decades. First introduced in 1971 with the words new pence, the coin underwent a significant change in 1982, when the wording was altered to simply 2p. The rare errors and most valuable. Off-metal strikes. £15,000 to £30,000. Double strikes and misstrikes. £17,000 to £20,000. Clipped planchets. £4,000 to £5,000. Die cracks and cuts. £2,000 to £3,000. Auction sales price. So far, genuine 2000 new pence errors are exceedingly scarce. Few have surfaced publicly, and many are believed to be tucked away in private collections. Auctioneers predict that if a pristine 2000 new pence mule error ever hits the block, it could set records, potentially selling for £500,000 to £1 million or more. Even lesser errors from 2000, such as off-metal strikes, have been valued in the tens of thousands. How to identify a rare 2000 error? Think you might have one? Here's a checklist. Check the date. It must be 2000. Check the reverse inscription. If it says new pence, you've struck gold. Examine the weight. A normal 2p weighs 7.12 grams. A different weight may mean an off-metal strike. Inspect the finish. Is it unusually shiny or proof-like? Could be a proof error. Look for striking issues. Double lettering, off-center strikes, or missing details can signal an error. A magnifying glass and a digital scale are essential tools. Why collectors pay so millions? The answer lies in 3 words: rarity, history, prestige. Rarity: these coins aren't just scarce, they're virtually one of a kind. History: they mark the year 2000, a symbolic turning point. Prestige: owning such a coin is like holding a golden ticket in numismatics. Collectors compete fiercely for the bragging rights of owning something no one else in the world